And welcome back to the Off the Clock Show, joined again with Sean Gervais from OrbisX CRM, as well as Marshall Hill from Pints and Polish Podcast, as well as hyperClean Car Care Products. How you doing, man?
Doing well, sir. Doing well. Thank you.
That's good. That's good. Hey, we're both wearing black today. We're matching. That's it.
My
On
daily
black.
color.
My daily color. Yeah, yeah. It makes life so much simpler, though.
Yeah.
It's I've got three colors in my wardrobe. Four. No, because I do have two blue shirts, but I have about 12 to 15 black shirts at any moment, and then the equal number in white shirts. I have them in long sleeve, short sleeve, and then I also have two green ones and then two blue ones. That's what I have. But that's it. That's my go-to.
Impressive. You have the exact amount of your clothes and you know that down to the number.
I
Got it.
do. I
Yeah,
do. I'm
that's
a numbers
impressive.
guy. Thank
Yeah.
you. And the
Yeah.
reason too is because white shirts, I change them more often than my black ones because they
Right.
get dirtier often, obviously. With kids too, something spills on it. I literally pre-purchase and I have in the original packaging, everything like that, because I've learned a long time ago, when you find shirts that you like, or when you
Hmm.
find something like that, just
You and I do the same thing.
buy them at yeah, okay. I do the same thing, pants, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I placed an order, and my buddy said, because he wanted something from the same store, and he said, "Why are you buying like 19 pairs of pants though?" And I said, "Well, because they're gonna just stay in storage until I need them."
Hmm.
He said, "Yeah, but you could just buy them when they're there." And I'm like, "No, no, no. I
No,
played
like
that
you don't
game
get it.
before.
Like,
I
yeah.
went to go get them, and they were fucking gone." So like, no. And honestly, for the price of them, the other advantage is I'm spending today's dollar. So let's say it's, $50, $60 pair of jeans. I'm spending $50, $60 of today's money versus if even if they kept the same,
You're on pay it forward, huh?
yeah, yeah. So that's what I do. I love it and I do the same thing, but yeah, I do have it down to an exact number. It's important because I have it factored out based on trips we take, the average duration of the trips we do, so it's that way I have it all worked out. Yeah, yeah. It's I know. It's sick. I wasn't always like this. And my wife one time, I came home. I was kind of a mess before. I just like threw stuff everywhere. I was like very disorganized. My wife came into my life, helped me with my books, all that kind of stuff, really just helped me grow up basically. And one day I came home and I opened my drawer and I had to sit down and talk to my wife. And I said, serious question, are you a serial killer? And she was like, what are you talking about? And I said, listen, come here. I brought her to the bedroom. I said, look at this. I don't know if you remember that movie, Sleeping with the Enemy, where she comes home. She had finally escaped her abusive husband. She comes home the one day, and he had a thing for like putting all the jars or all the cans a certain way so they're all facing forward. So she made a mess of them because she was finally free. She comes home one day, opens a cupboard, and they're all just facing the same way. It was like the most terrifying thing. That happened to me. I opened my drawer. I left that morning. Everything was a mess, but I knew where stuff was, or I thought I did. I came home. All my shit was organized like a filing cabinet. It was all sitting upright. It was organized by color. It was organized by pattern, everything. It blew my mind, but not in a good way at the time. Because I was kind of, I just remembered that movie and I was like, holy shit, like, I don't even know who I'm sleeping beside at night. You know what I mean? So anyway, it was for the better, but that's how I keep my stuff now is almost like militant. But yeah, I think for me, when I left the cadets, I went through a rebellious phase where I was like, I don't want to shine my boots. I don't want to, make my bed, all this shit. I don't know. So I kind of just regressed. And then she got me back on track. And now it's to the point she'll still be in bed sleeping. I wake up super early. I'll make my side of the bed. She wakes up. She's like, did you make your side of the bed? I'm like, yes. She's like, I'm still in the bed though. But I just, yeah, but I'm not going to get out. And then you're like, oh, I have to clean up after him. I make my side of the bed, tuck it in, everything. She's still in the other half.
Do you go ever just tuck her into and be like, hey, listen, let's just go ahead and
Let's just tuck you into it. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes if it's cold. Yeah, yeah, of course. How about you, man? Any strange habits like that?
I mean, I've always worn the same clothes over and over. It started in high school. It was actually what I really enjoyed about the high school I went to. It was a prep school. It was we wore pants and ties to every day, and I really
Nice.
came to enjoy it. And then I found as a young man, like you go and get styles and get that, like, man, you can spend a lot on clothes. You can
Oh
spend a
yeah,
lot on clothes.
big time.
And I love clothes. I love
Yeah.
nice clothes. I love nice shoes. And fortunately, I saw that there's a lot of people that waste a lot of resources when they could be using it towards something else they might want in life.
Mm,
And so I began to dwindle down and really subtract how many clothes, how many shoes, all the different stuff,
nice. Yeah.
and went back to wearing the same thing over and over. And I've done
Nice.
that for, I don't know, 15 years,
It's really freeing because
something
then you
like
don't have to
that. Yeah,
focus on
like
it. You free up the money for other stuff.
just buy the
And
same shorts, and I don't do
yeah.
always like what you do, like years ahead, but I'll get, I don't know, 7 or 8. So I got enough through this a couple
Yeah.
years to type of that, and that's the way I do it.
Exactly. Nice. And that way you don't have to think about it too. And you're just like, hey,
You
it's
don't
done.
ever think about it,
Yeah. And
ever.
then when it's yeah, yeah.
And there's so many people that complain about their status or where they're at and where they want to be,
Mm,
and then they'll trade. And it is a trade, and I'm not going to say that somebody's wrong or right on their trade. Some people value the way they look and need to have a certain style, right? Like there are people, and it seems to be the more you go through life, you meet more people, I guess, of, well, just very particular about their look. And
mm,
I don't think it's financial either. There's plenty of wealthy people that don't care and plenty of wealthy people that do care. There's plenty
yeah.
of, middle class people that, and there's plenty of low, right? It goes back and forth from classes to finance. And I
Yeah.
just
I think
always
it's
looked at it and gone,
individual. Yeah.
I I enjoy looking like I feel like I look good. I don't need to wear something for somebody else to say that I look good.
Yeah.
And
I
I don't
know what
think
you mean.
everybody gets there. I don't.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Like I like to look good, but I'm not too hung up on like name brands or something. Like
Yeah.
and it depends what it is. But me, I focus more on the quality of something because I want it to last. But I
Mm-hmm.
also the material, like
The
certain
material.
materials,
Mm-hmm.
I won't wear. Like I want to make sure that like out of my white and black shirts, for example, half of them they're really nice. It's kind of a cotton blend, but they're the blend part makes them UV resistant. And it's because I spend a lot of time outdoors. I spend a lot of time in the Caribbean. And so I like to know that even though I put on sunscreen, there's moments where, like, if I'm going to, dinner or lunch or a meeting or something, I'm not putting on sunscreen before I go. Like, I save that for the beach or the pool or whatever. But I still want to be protected from the sun because I know a lot of people that had skin issues and stuff like that from like the sun is crazy powerful. And I used to think, oh yeah, but I want to get a nice tan, but
Mm-hmm.
you can
Mm-hmm.
still get a tan while you're protected. But
Yeah.
trust me, you don't want skin cancer. And so
Yeah. But I do think that there, as you do progress through life. And I think there are, we say that it's not necessarily financial, but there's definitely more, as you go into nicer restaurants, you go into nice, like people
yeah,
just generally dress nicer.
yeah,
I have just never been somebody that dresses the same as anybody in Oklahoma. So I've
mm,
never really cared that I'm going to wear the same things as this guy over here with this style of shirt that's not my, like,
yeah. It's not my style, so I'm not
Levi
gonna.
ain't my style, let me tell you. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
I know there's other cowboy brands and other stuff out there.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
more the Tommy Bahama. I'm
Yeah,
more
yeah.
of I like Ron John. I don't fit in Oklahoma ever.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wear flip
You've said
flops.
that a lot before too. You're like,
Yeah. So it
you're
just is
from
what
there,
it
but
is.
you're not
That's
from
part of
there.
why I've never cared about clothes either. I always have been different, so I've never really cared to fit in.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's fair. And
Yeah.
me, it's the same thing. Like most of my shirts are either branded for our business, unbranded completely.
And there's, yep.
They
Mm-hmm.
or they a lot of my clothing will just say Mr. Gervais on it, stuff like that. And it's just like I own a printing company, and so one of my favorite hoodies, for example, so we order Champion hoodies in. They're just super, super comfortable, and they offer nice like full cottons and stuff like that. It feels better on my skin. They're not very expensive, and then I just print on them. Like, do I care that I don't have something that says, like I don't know, Gucci or something? I could care less, because I'm not into brands like that for other people. I'm the same way, and it's freeing I find because I know some people, man, they take
Gucci though?
forever.
You a
Eh?
Gucci guy? You a Gucci guy?
Gucci? No, I was just throwing out
I'm a Gucci mango guy.
Ah,
I
yeah,
don't know anything about a Gucci mango. People don't know about that.
yeah.
Don't know about a Gucci mango.
Jesus.
But if you'll grab that new Slick 2.0 we just released, it's got a
Ooh,
pretty
ooh.
interesting scent that you might go,
Ah,
dang, that's Gucci mango.
mm,
What'd you say? Gucci
damn.
mango?
Gucci mango. Damn. I never thought about that, but yeah, you get to put in your own scents and everything like that too. That's wild. That must be a process.
It's a
That's
lot of fun. It's
yeah,
really a lot of fun.
man.
I kind of look like I'm snorting a lot of stuff sometimes
Yeah,
because I'll put like the chemical and then I'll put this one here and I'll be like, how does this work? Right. Like,
yeah,
because I
yeah.
don't think that you should, the old school's always been like cherry or, some
Yeah.
general scent that we want to overpower the cleaner.
Chemical side, yeah.
Right. So could you actually balance it like the way we would balance a meal?
Hmm.
Right. This is why I think it's so interesting to not be a chemist.
Ah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like, because then I can take these ideas and this idea and I don't get stuck in a
Yeah,
path.
because they're in that framework where they
Yep.
understand too much of
So if I
this
can
has
take
to
some
be
pieces
this.
here, talk to these people here, we
Ah,
have this, and then we balance it all out.
yeah.
Me, that's much more of a better user experience than a great product with this scent that you go, why does everybody always use these same scents? Like,
Yeah. That's true, Jeez. It's funny you say that because I feel the same way about a lot of other things. Like every business I've had. Um, people have asked me, they're like, how the hell did you get into detailing, for example? Because like all my other businesses were in vastly different industries. And then, same thing on the flip side, when people at the, Auto World, they're like, "Hey, you have a printing shop? Like, they're so different. Like, how'd you get into that?" And the number one thing though that's common across the board with all my companies is people tell me, man, your customer service is like through the roof. Like the customer experience is just exceptional. Because for me, every business is the same to me. Like it's just we have a solution to a problem and that's what we're selling. And so we're transferring that feeling to the customer, trying to find value to push onto them, things like that. So it doesn't matter what we're selling. We could be selling anything. It could be we're selling apples or we're selling printers or we're selling, it doesn't matter. But I find that a lot of people they get into something because they're passionate about something, which is good. They're like, oh, I got into detailing because I like cars, something like that, which is a good step and it's a good reason to get into something. But I feel that the reason my companies have done so well, especially with creating the customer experience side of things, is because I wasn't in that fixed framework that, okay, I'm going to open an auto detailing shop and it has to operate this way because that's what, the industry does, or that's what I've seen, or that's what I've heard. But instead, if you look at it differently from a different lens, you can just reverse engineer things and say, well, I actually want this desired outcome. So we're going to try this like this. And that's one reason. I mean, if you want to go to business school, go to business school. But I'm actually opposed to, like, I would never myself go to like a business school at a university or something because I feel like they're going to just kill my creativity and put me in a box where it's like, if you don't do it this way, it's the wrong way, But business is a lot more fluid than that. And that's one cool thing about your products that as you're describing, that by not being a chemist directly, understanding the chemistry is important. Having people that understand it, that are experts in that area is equally important. But I think that you not having that background puts you in a competitive advantage, I think, because you get to just try shit and say, yeah, I know all the science says we should do this to do that, but what if we did this, this, and this instead? And then, like, that's fun, man. That's it. It's like every day you get to play with a Lego set or something. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, yeah, I know the box says build it like this, but fuck it, I'm building this instead. Like, that's cool, man. Shit. Yeah. I feel that that's something a lot of people don't realize about their business is that it's an organism that's alive that you have control of. It's kind of like
mhm.
Play-Doh. Like you don't have to do everything this certain way. You can do it this way or that way. And it's something I see a lot in the groups. People are like looking
So it's basically like you need to become a businessman instead of a detailer
100%.
in a sense, right? Like,
Yeah.
and people will define businessmen in all different ways, right? The new term is, that you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah, yeah,
All right, that's a new term. But I think a great example, and I want to give a little bit of props to Aaron. Aaron
yeah,
just posted, I think recently, he bought a investment
yeah,
property.
yeah. He got himself his first investment property.
And he specifically said investment property. And I go, okay, man, cool.
Yeah,
Like, good for you. Like, he's choosing real estate as a next means, right? For
yeah.
me, I got into a bunch of stuff. One of the craziest was, I almost started a lice removal business with somebody.
Oh, damn.
And then I got into cell phones, and then I ended up owning 4 cell phone stores in South Carolina. I mean, I
Jesus.
used to do the books of those companies while I would sit at gymnastics, so
Jeez.
work my regular stuff during the day with, what
Yeah,
at that time was Total Auto Solutions. And then at night, I was working on cell phone stores and other things while my
yeah,
kids were at
yeah.
gymnastics or whatever they were doing, like
Man,
it was
that's
a,
amazing.
it was a really fun part of time of life, right? There was
Yeah,
so many things to do, so many opportunities, so many ideas. What could you hunt? What could you chase? And that's really what I think we all need to start trying to think about how to operate. If we are detailers, but we've got to take that hat off and become a businessman. And people are
yeah,
like, oh, I gotta not work in my business, work all my business. Like whatever that stupid ass motherfucking saying
yeah,
is so fucking stupid.
yeah.
You're
So true.
always going to work on your business and in your business. You don't get to do either or. Like it's
It's true.
always both.
It's true.
It's a
Always. Like
stupid
it's
thing. What, I can't
yeah,
go back there and pack a box because we need
yeah.
help?
Exactly. Like that's craziness.
Huh? Like
It's
fucking
so
stupid.
true because you're always and it's just the percentage. Some days you're going to be more on, some days more in,
Sure.
vice versa, but
Yeah.
that's normal and it's but it's the same thing and it's something that it's that old I don't know what they're called, like phrases or whatever that get thrown around that we all memorize. It's like work on your business, not in your business, all this kind of stuff. A penny saved, a penny earned, all this bullshit that puts us in those frameworks, but that's so limiting for where you can go. Like OrbisX has been like wonderful from my point of view because I get to see so many different ways that these companies are functioning. Like there's and so some guys will say like, "What's the best way I should set up my account?" And I'm like, "Wow, man, I don't know. That really depends on your business." Like that's the advantage of OrbisX is it's very flexible to accommodate all different scenarios and operation types. But like there's some guys that they do pick up drop off service. There's other guys that they've signed up with Uber and they do the Uber business and they give their customers credits and they can just take a taxi, stuff like that, or I guess an Uber. And then there's guys that don't do any of that. And there's some that work from their homes and some that do mobile. They're all over the spectrum. They all operate in different ways. It's really awesome to see that there's so much diversity in the way that businesses are doing, but you can really see the difference when you talk to some people, especially in like the Facebook groups online. You can really see how people are struggling because they feel like they're missing the framework. They're like, oh, I'm a little slow right now, or I'm not getting this or that. Can anyone help me? Like, what exactly do I need to do? And it's like, you kind of have to figure it out on your own through trial and error a lot. Getting ideas is good, but I would rather see more questions where someone says, hey, does anybody have anything that's been working well for them recently? Like a promo or campaign or a marketing avenue or something. Come with some specifics, but just, hey, can you outline like what's the formula here? Like I add this, I add that, I add this, I add that, all of a sudden I have a cake. It doesn't work like that. It's very unique to your scenario. There was a video I sent you where, speaking of like the future of detailing and stuff, that Elon Musk, like he's got his hands in multiple different things. The guy's building rocket ships, cars. He's got the boring companies like drilling tunnels. He's got satellites for internet. Like he's all over the place. Each business fuels the other, helps sustain it. He just bought Twitter. Like he's all over the place in a way, but he's also it's just part of his network. It's almost like it's one organism moving forward. But I look at things like the future of our business, Auto World and things that we've been doing and things we've been trying. So we've been working on like new campaigns for people that, anyone that purchases a new car, We give them, a different thing, excuse me, than a regular customer that would just walk in or call. Um, we're really trying to go after someone that's purchased a new car, and I'm talking like brand new car, not a new to them, but like brand new cars, because what we're finding is the market people are keeping their cars longer now than they were before, and so what we realize is that getting in on the ground floor with someone, it's kind of like if we were, I don't know, we were selling clothing. Wouldn't it be great to have your brand on babies, and then they carry on that brand until they're, well, I used to wear that when I was a kid, and now I buy it for, in my 20s, my 30s, and now I buy it for my children. Like that would be the ideal scenario, right? Generational customers. But so we're trying to target those kinds of things. And I saw something that I got into a debate with some other detailers about, and then I talked with you briefly about it as well, where Elon is releasing his Robovan, basically. So it's a new product in his lineup of cars, and it's going to be a van that can be utilized as a taxi or a shuttle for football teams, things like that, or just getting your I don't know, office staff to some party or whatever. But you could also buy this thing and outfit it so it can just move stuff. So you could become like an Amazon driver, but you're not even driving the thing. It's driving itself and going to all the stops and stuff. Like the future's gonna be crazy. But in this video promoting this thing, he casually shows robots detailing, in bunny quotes here, detailing,
Cleaning the car.
cleaning. We'll say cleaning, sure, cleaning a car. Is it possible that those robots could advance to detailing? Possibly, depending on how the customer's classifying what they want done, right?
So this is very interesting because it's been said years and years ago. Like, hey, technology is going to continually absorb and take positions, right? It's going
Yeah.
to take
Especially
tasks
mundane,
that
repetitive.
society deems
Yeah.
um, dumb, right? Like
Yeah, yeah. For like,
driving a
yeah.
car from point A to point B uh,
Hmm. It doesn't
seems
make sense
dumb,
to have a human being do that, You're tying them
right?
up in traffic and everything.
But will they get to do all that driverless stuff? I don't know, right? Like, can
Yeah.
they really get to an autonomous drive? I'm not sure, right? I mean, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but I did watch that video. It was super cool. Could they pull in their car to what he says is they don't have to plug in their car anymore. So the idea would be that somebody drives their car home, gets out of the car, it's charging itself, the doors open, and then we see these robot arms go in and start vacuuming out the seat,
Yeah.
wiping off the dash. First of all, I don't know of I don't know, a normal person that's going to be able to purchase all
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
type of stuff, right?
Very
It's
true.
going to over the next years be to the elite. And I think he even said what 26. They're really hoping maybe in 26 they could start
Yeah.
really releasing this stuff. So, maybe by 2030, 2035, an average
Yeah.
person might be able to get it.
It's
But at
true.
first it's
It'll
it's going to
depend with his
be,
robots too, because he's got the,
yep, those robots were
yeah,
interesting, right? There's some that they're
absolutely.
already showing painting the inside of a house. So of
Yeah.
course if they can do that, really the only thing they need to do, as you'll understand, right? You completely know, is they just need to skim at the car,
Hmm.
right? The robot just needs to know where all the crevices are, just needs to know how to wipe.
Yeah.
Is it detailed? No. Is it clean?
Yes. You
It's
know?
clean. Are detailers in trouble or are car washes in trouble? Because when Elon gets my sample of my rinseless and waterless wash, he's going
Mhm.
to start spraying it out of the robots and they're going to wash and dry the
He's gonna,
car.
yeah, yeah.
So car washes are in trouble, not detailers.
It's true. And that's where I actually think that a lot of his tech is going to be a boom for detailing.
Yeah.
I honestly think so. I think first off, the more normalized it is to clean your car, like we all know we got to do it, but the more that it's just like in your face that, oh, there's robots now that they clean your car, it's like, oh, great. But do they get everything out? Do they
No,
fully
of course
detail
not.
it? No, of
Yeah.
course. So you're going to need that extra service. And I think it's going to actually put higher value on it because,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so if it costs me 10 grand, let's say, to get this robot thing that's going to just clean my car, well, then detailing my car, the value of that's going to go up because it's more advanced than what these robots can do. But the other side of it too is that you're right, not everyone's going to be able to afford it. But I think it can also be something that detailers could actually utilize to
Mm-hmm.
prep cars, so it can do some of the vacuuming, the this, that, and everything. While
I guess
you
I didn't
go,
think of it that way. I thought you were going to go with the, which you talked about when we were chatting about this beforehand, was all the ways they could use the taxis.
oh, absolutely, that's going to be huge, I think, because the big thing right now, right, is especially if you have a shop, the big thing is shop versus mobile, right? Mobile, they're selling that convenience. We come to you, so on and so forth, so you don't have to be without your vehicle. They are still without their vehicle in a way because while you're cleaning it or detailing it, they can't use the vehicle, right? So there is still that dead time. The difference is they're home, right? That's a good thing, unless they have to be somewhere else, right? So then it's
Mm-hmm.
still not super convenient in that sense, depending on how long you take. So that's where us at our shop, for example, I'm pumped about the robo taxis because that's going to be amazing. Because already it's pretty cheap to do like the Uber thing, but you're still involving another human being. Some people have their reservations about, some people don't do Uber. Like we have a lot of our female customers, for example, they just don't do taxis or Ubers. They're like they had a bad experience or whatever the case may be. They just don't do it. But if people were comfortable, well, of course, because it's kind of, I don't know, for a lot of people having a car drive itself is also kind of unnerving at times. But if they perfect that technology to a level that people feel confident in it, I actually think this is going to be a huge plus for detail shops like ours. Like we'll take advantage of that so that it becomes a selling point now. It's, drop your vehicle off and then we'll cover the cost because it's going to be pennies literally on the dollar. We'll cover your cost of your robo taxi and it'll take you around and it'll do whatever you need to do. Whether you're going home, you want to go run some errands, whatever, we'll cover the cost of it.
Well, I
And
figured
then,
you'd already have five just sitting there, letting them.
yeah, yeah. So, it's funny because I've been looking at purchasing a couple Teslas in preparation for when they
Mhm.
do launch this kind of thing, because then you can just put it in the pool. When it's not delivering customers, it's just out there
Just
earning
out
money.
making you money.
Exactly. And then it can also be utilized to bring our customers places. So I was like, that's a
Hmm.
win-win. And then the flip side of that too is we can then clean them and then we can hopefully become a service center that can clean other robo taxis. So
There you
they'll be
go.
able to just drive themselves to our shop. We'll
Hmm.
detail it, do a mini detail
Because
because
there's going to have to be some like certified type, right?
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, those damn certifications. Yeah, exactly. Certified to clean robo taxis. But yeah, so I'm excited for the future, man, because that's where like this technology is pretty cool. And I think that what happens to us all though, well, not us all, but a lot of people they see this kind of technology and they get worrisome. They look at it like this is the $30 car wash guy down the road, and they just want to jump to criticizing it because we're so trained to see
Hmm.
any new innovation or any new thing in our space as a threat. Like even when OrbisX launched, man, there were so many people that were like, "Oh no, 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 there's already stuff that exists for this." Like it was just they were threatened by something new, and then it just grew in popularity because people used it and it worked well and did everything they wanted to do and more. It's the same kind of thing. It depends on how you look at the tool, right?
Is it, do you think there's a mindset of somebody is, this is the funny part about the way you and I say it is, do you think there's some people, I do, that they have a predator mindset and
uh,
some have a prey mindset?
yeah,
Some
100%.
people hear this, like you said, and get really scared, get really, oh, what's going to happen? Oh, let's, right? I'm a
Yeah,
prey. I've got to,
absolutely.
I've got to protect. Then there's some that heard it. Oh,
And they're like, woof, they
uh,
see the
let's,
opportunity
let's
right
go.
away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because they've got that predator mindset. And that's what you want to have when we talk about becoming a businessman. That's what you want to have is that predator mindset. Because it doesn't mean that your win is someone else's loss necessarily. That's not how it works. We're not talking about, oh, well, my competitor's doing this, so I'm gonna do the exact same thing and put them out of business. It's not that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's better servicing your customer base and your potential customer base so you acquire more customers. If they're choosing to do business with you and not some other place, it's not because you won or something like that. It's because you're just providing a better solution, whatever that happens to be for that person. So you're actually doing them a disservice if you're not having the predatory mindset, because if you're not finding new ways to offer these solutions to your customers and latch on to innovation, your customer experience is actually what's going to suffer. And then the customer is not going to be happy whether they go with you or they go with the $30 watch guy down the road. So for me, that's the predator mindset. I'm all for it. And that's why I constantly research these things. I take a look at them because it's going to happen. Number one, like they will have autonomous driving. They already have it in a lot of places, but they will have it eventually. Whether we're here to see it or not, who knows? I hope so. Stock price will jump up, which would be nice. But either way, knowing that these kinds of things exist, even just entertaining the conversation of, okay, let's say it's not robotaxis. Maybe your business could benefit because your customers would benefit from having like sign up with Uber Business and have someone available that can come and pick up the customer. You pay a small fee per ride. So what? Factor it into your pricing and then keep it moving. But that added convenience, now you're able to compete against the mobile convenience that the other guy was offering, things like that, right? So there's a lot of ways you can attack that, because there's a lot of people that may have wanted to come into your shop, but they couldn't because they felt it wasn't convenient. Because when am I going to find time? I'm at work. I'm this. I'm that. Everything. But if there was a way they could drop off their car and then get back to work, why not? What do I care? If the car is getting detailed or sitting in a parking lot, I'd rather it get detailed. And then the end of the day, I'm hopping in a nice clean car. So it's those kinds of things that we're constantly looking for new innovative ways to take our business to the next level. I'm excited for the robo taxis, and I'm also excited for the robo cleaners as well, because I think, man, they don't take days off. Man, they could assist my staff. I could have higher qualified staff that we pay well doing things that the robot can't, and having these robots be their assistant. It's just smart business, like yeah. Now, if I could get them to become a service manager, now we're talking. Okay. So it's one thing I always admired about dealerships that I don't see with detailers often. Detailers often look for a few positions. They look for someone that's going to, they look for the techs, and then they want someone to manage the techs, but they don't think about someone to manage the customer, and that's that whole layer of expense that dealerships have added for the service manager. Their whole job is so that the technicians aren't the ones doing the upselling. It's their whole job is to talk to customers about preventative maintenance, upselling this, that, different things. They will pay for if you have a good salesperson, that is, they will pay for their salary 100 times over
Yeah,
easily.
here we call those service riders.
Okay. Service writers. There we go. Yeah. Ear service manager. Okay. And
Yes. Service manager manages the service riders.
okay. Oh shit. No way. Okay. Here we call them service manager, and then you'll just have different tiers of service managers. But shit, that's interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys still call them ROs? Yeah, like the work orders?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Just curious if there's different okay, cool, cool, cool. Interesting. Yeah, the Canadian versus US Which I have a question for you. You guys drop the U in every word, like color. I can't think of any off the top, but you guys kept it in. I think you kept it in glamour. There's one you kept it. It's I don't know. I was always
I don't know,
curious.
man. I didn't write the English.
Ah, fair enough. Fair.
Yeah. All right, so I I love the idea of the robotaxi. I love that, and I love, like when I said a second ago, like there's going to be certain people that would immediately gone, "Hey, I could do that."
Hmm.
There's going to be some people that will doubt that that would be ever something that they could have enough. Well, let's call it what it is. They don't believe they'll have enough money to purchase it.
Hmm.
And there's the part that I find really to be the tip in a sense is belief. It's been said, everybody can always hear this, is gone right. If you don't believe in something, you'll never achieve it, right? Like
Hmm.
there's plenty of financial people that have said the reason why people aren't successful in life and don't attain a lot of money isn't their skills, isn't their work ethic. It's simply their belief
Mm.
that they can or cannot achieve it.
Yeah.
And for some of us, we go, well, that's crazy. I believe, okay, but you believe, but there's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
many people and it's unrecognizable to most people like you and I because we just believe. Now, there's a part of that where, what this song a long time ago, like aim for the stars and if you land on the moon or something, or if you aim for the moon, if you land on the stars, hey, you're better than you, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't believe that you should like have these insane goals that are unattainable so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you can just achieve something that's not what you had set yourself out to do.
Mhm.
Right.
I know
And I
what
don't
you mean.
want to
Yeah.
go, yeah, I don't want to go into that, but that is what one core part of it. The main part of, like I was saying a second ago, is if you believe that you can achieve something.
Mm.
Well, let's think about what happens when you believe in something. I mentioned maybe your skill set and your work ethic that most people associate success with. You have to have really great skill at something in order to have success. Well, if you believe that you're going to have success at something, the belief always then trumps the time to sit, the time
Mm.
to wait, the time, because I believe that my skill, then I need to keep working on my skill, honing my skill, right? If I believe that I'm going to change something, then I don't need to be concerned about laziness or not having work ethic because I believe I'm going to attain it.
Yeah.
Then I won't pause to do other things because I believe so strongly that
Got
it
it.
leans all these other things are just going to pass away.
Hmm.
So that's why I keep saying, do you believe? Right? Like, are you the person that hears something and believes that you can attain it? Hmm. I don't know if there'll be another update after today, uh,
Ooh.
but
Some juicy tea. Yeah.
some of that discussion of belief,
Yeah.
you have to ask, well, what happened to the crazy uncle that
Yeah.
believed he could make it to the United States
On a bicycle.
on a bicycle
Whew. That's intense.
and no money and asking
Yeah.
people on Facebook to
Gee.
support him, and then seeing the videos of being out in the desert and the cold and
Yeah.
meeting people. I sent you that one YouTube video, right? Like he's
Yeah.
now made it, and we did get confirmation. He is in the giant holding cell of immigration. So, as confirmed by workers of our family business, my wife's cleaning business, who have also walked across the border,
Yeah.
um,
Geez.
I got to ask the question if there's people willing to die for the chance to be here, they believe so strongly in themselves and what the opportunity is of America. What, why would
That's
you not believe
incredible
also?
belief, man.
Yeah, what if they believe it's here, then you've got to believe it's here, and then you've got to change your mindset to believe in something. I think the reason why people are slow, I think the reason why people spending way too much time doing other things or asking stupid questions, they simply don't believe that they can attain something. If you
Mhm.
believe you can attain it, you'll work your fucking ass off
Every day. Yeah.
every day
Yeah.
because you believe you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you mentioned earlier a process you started to do when you wake up.
Yeah.
There's a very popular, I don't think Pete Carroll, I don't know if he still coaches for the Seahawks because I haven't watched Seahawks in a long time, but he used to be a USC coach, very popular coach. His deal was like you having something in the morning, and he specifically talks about before you even put your feet down,
Hmm.
you go over and you begin to believe in what you're going to be doing that day,
Yeah.
right?
And
Like
that's,
the belief that you're going to achieve it
yeah.
despite all the other obstacles of we can all go through, right? And that's where goes
Yeah.
some people start going, well, this is going to, well, this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't believe, did you?
exactly. Because yeah, anything could happen at any moment. But if you believe, like, no, and that's why the vernacular for the morning page in the routine when I'm writing is it's not, I can do this, I can do that. Of course I can. You can do anything at any moment, but I believe I will do it so strongly. So I write will. I will do this. I will do that. It's not, and I also stop saying I have. I have a meeting at this time. I will be at a meeting at 1 p.m. That's it.
My everybody that plays baseball, well, hell, I think there's a lot of I'm watching so much more soccer. There's a lot of superstition in soccer. There's a lot of superstition in baseball. Like
Yeah, yeah.
baseball has a ton. Like you jump over the lines, you don't walk on certain parts, you don't for us, we couldn't touch the dirt in certain times.
Yeah.
I always had a thing that I did when I'd go up to bat. I'd touch a
Oh,
certain part of the plate and I would do my little rhythm and I'd go, I am, I will, I can. And it was what was written in the under part of my hat
oh
because that's
shit.
what we
No.
did. You would write things up, right?
Yeah.
And that was mine. I am, I will, I can.
Yeah. Damn.
Sometimes you literally believe, and it doesn't matter what the pit like. The ball just seems like it's this giant, slow pitch softball, and you're just like,
Yeah.
and then sometimes you're like,
Oh.
oh shit, So you don't believe. There's times where your belief system for a half second it
Hmm.
all right
Yeah,
strike. Shit,
exactly.
I believe right like.
Yeah, but if you truly believe, yeah, it does increase your chances of things,
Mm-hmm.
100%. Yeah, it's and that's where um man, that's a good one, especially this time of year, because I feel that when a lot of people are slowing down, not so much that their business is slowing down, because the economy keeps going every
Yeah.
day. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? In fact, during this time of the year, it's kind of like when people are at a wedding, their inhibitions are thrown to the wind, and people are actually a lot more loose with their wallets this time of year than they are any other usually. We
About to get to a lot of shopping days.
Yes, exactly, and the difference is, yeah, there's a lot more clutter out there in terms of advertising, things like that. But there's also a lot of opportunities where you can be other places and capture those eyeballs as long as you believe you can, because you
Mm-hmm.
just have to, if you believe it's possible, you're going to sit down and you're going to use one of our favorite tools that I just realized Marshall also has. Get yourself a remarkable. They're amazing. Anyway, I've been writing down stuff like crazy because what we do every quarter is we go over our promos and stuff like that. And the difference between, because like a lot of my businesses, they're very streamlined in terms of the management at the top. My auto shop, we've got three heads that have equal voting rights. And so there's myself, my business partner Nick, business partner Paul. The differences between us all, like Paul is more in line with me. Nick, I love him, but he's a lot more pessimistic about things. And whereas me and Paul were like, no, 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 because we're dealing with stuff day to day. Nick handles more just accounting, things like that. So he looks at things, he's like, oh no, 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 like da da da, this can't be done or that can't be done. Whereas me and Paul believe things so strongly. We're just like, no, 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 we will do this. This will happen. And da da da. But because of that, we just have to figure out what pieces we have to put in place to make it happen. But if we don't
Once you
believe it to
believe.
begin with,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we're just wasting effort, money, time, all that stuff because we didn't believe it was really going to happen in the first place, so we didn't do it. I have a great example to illustrate your point there, Marshall. As I mentioned before we started this, got a new fridge. Absolutely amazing. Got the cafe model. Look it up, guys. If you're looking for a fridge, I can't recommend them enough. They don't have referral codes, unfortunately. I wish I'd get a kickback, but check out that fridge. It's awesome. It's bigger than our last fridge. The delivery guys that showed up said can't bring it in the front door. I said okay, no problem. I have patio doors at the back. We can bring it through there. They bring it around. They said, won't fit through the patio doors unless they come off. I said, okay, so let's take them off. Like, I don't care. Said, no, the guy that usually does that for us isn't here, and we don't know how to do it. So, well, guys, it's not rocket science. It's just two doors. We can, like, they're designed to come out. We just have to, I don't know how this particular model does it, but we can go to YouTube, da 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 da. They said, "Ah, oh, no, we can't do it. We'll hook it up in the garage, and then you can move it in later after you switch over fridges and stuff." And I said, "Guys, this is happening right now." And they said, "No, no, like we don't think we can do it." These guys had zero belief in their ability to get it inside. And I said, listen, I know you have other deliveries. You're not going anywhere. I've got you for another 15 minutes. I'm going to spend 5 minutes on YouTube, and then we're going to spend 10 minutes taking these doors apart. I went to YouTube, both of them standing there scratching their heads, and they they literally looked at it like I was proposing that we build a rocket and take it to the moon. That is in their brains how serious this was. And I was like, guys, it's just two doors that have they're two windows basically, and they're in a track, and you just so anyway, went to a YouTube video, learned a couple things, boom, popped the thing off, took this off, took that off, a couple screws here and there, popped the first one out, popped the second one out. Next thing you know, they're both out. They were looking at me like I was a magician. They like, how did you do this sorcery? It's like, guys, you just have to believe it can be done. I know it can be done, so I believe I can do it. If some other guy that you work with can do this and he figured it out, so can we. There's three of us here. You know what I mean? So guess what? We're gonna do it. And then now you'll know how to do it. I'll know how to do it. We all walk away with this knowledge. I get my fridge put where it's supposed to go. Life is good. But their lack of belief, honest to God, the one guy had asked me, he saw our house. He's like, oh, nice house. I said, thanks. He's like, if you're ever looking for employees, maybe I could give you my resume, this and that and stuff. Honestly, that little interaction with him, there's not a
Yeah,
chance
not
in
now.
hell I wouldn't even hire him to bring in my groceries
No,
because he doesn't believe in himself at
no,
all. You know what I mean? And even when he's proposed with like when another person's in the room that says we can do this, and I'm a very good I don't know, like encourager or inspirer, like I'm a leader. That's what I do. I lead my team every day. I was leading them. I got them to do it. We did it. They were happy. They high-fived each other after, and I was like, "You guys didn't even do shit, anyways." But I was his lack of belief though cost him any opportunity with me in the future, 100%, because I can't instill belief in him. I can't make him believe in himself. He has to find that from within. And so, guys, girls, go out there, find that belief in yourself. It's in you to find it within you. No matter what team you're on, no matter what company you're working in, there will be other people around you that do believe that strongly. I would try and study those people. I would find out what makes them tick, find out different things. Like me, my big thing is that this is the greatest time to be alive. We have the resources, we have AI, we have YouTube, we have OrbisX and hyperClean, thank God. We have all these things available. That was a shameless plug. It's off the clock, baby. So we have all these resources though available to us. So I genuinely believe I can do anything. If I whatever it is, there's a YouTube video on it, there's an article about it, I can ask ChatGPT, there's so many things I believe genuinely that I can do anything if it's something I wanted to do. And that's where, some companies there's guys that are making millions of dollars, and what they do is they fabricate buttons for elevators. That's a true story. I know a guy, that's what his company does. Makes buttons for elevators. He's super passionate about it. He believed, he was like, you know what? I'm going to start a company and I'm going to be the one that everybody pushes the buttons all across the country. I was like, hey, man, that's fucking wicked, man. He believed in it. I don't believe that that's what I want to do, so I wouldn't be successful at it. But anything I do want to do, I go into it with the mentality and the belief that I can do it. And so I'm going to figure it out. And that's what it comes down to. Like right now, I'm renovating a closet, zero renovation experience. I renovated my whole basement, and people have asked me what contractor we used. I did it myself. Me and YouTube University. That was it. You know what I mean? And Home Depot. That was it. But I had the belief that I could do it. Someone else can do it. They put their pants on one leg at a time. Well, then we're gonna do it too. Which leads me to my last and final point. I'm reading a book right now. It's absolutely amazing, and there were 2 points in it. I'm reading this book because we're having a lot of team meetings towards the end of the year, and we recap things that went well, things that didn't go well, things that we are doing that we can improve. And now the critical question, which I got from this book that I'm reading, which is, what are we not doing? And so I want you to believe in yourself, and I want you to take some time right now to scribble down on a notepad some things that you think your business is not doing. Because we all look at the things we are doing and we look for faults and try and find efficiencies or improvements, but we don't spend enough time thinking about the things that we're not doing. Like, are we not offering customers a robotaxi when that exists? Are we not offering customers Uber business experience where they can go about their day, things like that. What are we not doing? You know what you are doing, improve those things and continue to, but you have to also believe that your business can improve and it can be better by taking a look at the things you're not doing as well. Which brings me to my last and final point, which is the tip. And this I got from the book because we had some issues with some people we had to deal with. It's funny because it was a member question as well. Lazy employees, how do you deal with them? You and I talked about this briefly before. The only way, fire them. Hire people that want to work, people that are motivated because their parents did that to them or their environment they grew up in. That's their identity, and you can't change their identity. If they're just a lazy person, fire them. So we had a situation recently. We took on a co-op student. He was lazy as shit. And one of the partners, because equal voting rights, wanted to keep him on board, was lazy as shit and had to go. But conundrum came up. If he goes, one of the other employees said, I want to go too because I enjoy working with him and I don't think he should go. I don't think he's that lazy. Okay. The other employee was okay. It was okay. And so I was reading this book when I was in the Bahamas. It was quite nice. And it had a sentence in there that helped me with my entire meeting process. And we ended up firing both of them, letting them go. We've started hiring to fill their positions. And we found one really good candidate, which is good. And so now we're just working on the second one. But the phrase was, if you're going to eat shit, don't nibble. And I thought that was the best phrase I've ever heard because we were faced with a scenario where, okay, we're going to have to get rid of two people. And it means that there's going to be a backlog and the rest of the team's going to have to pick up the weight until we fill the positions. And so we said, well, we're going to eat shit. Don't nibble. Let's just go in full force.
Just
And
go
so,
in. Yeah.
yeah, go in. So we got rid of both of them, talked to the team, said, guys, for the next 2 weeks, we need you guys to do some overtime. But the reason we need you to do overtime, you're going to be paid extra for it and everything's going to be great. The reason is because we want 2 weeks to fully evaluate the new people coming in to ensure that we don't bring on some more, dead weight that's just going to slow the ship down. And so they all understood that long term, short term pain, but long term gain, they're going to have better people on the staff. So they were all on board with it. But it all started with me reading that book. As soon as I got to that chapter, and that was the title of the chapter, I bookmarked it, closed the book, got on FaceTime, and I was like, "Hey guys, quick emergency meeting." And I said, "Listen," explained it all, and I said, "This is what's happening. I want them gone by 4 p.m." And that was that. And so we just we didn't nibble, but solved our problem long term. So there's ways of handling things, but you can't nibble. So anyway, that's my tip for today: is that if you're gonna deal with some shit, don't nibble. If you're gonna eat it, don't nibble. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm excited for the future. Guys, believe in yourself. Now is the time. We got some big shopping holidays coming up. Get your ad ready. Believe you can double those numbers, triple those numbers, whatever goals you have. Believe you can. Set a morning routine that you do for yourself that is focused around your beliefs and the things that you will do. You can borrow Marshall's saying there. I like that one a lot. That's good. How did it go again? Hold on. I will.
I am, I will, I
I
can.
am, I will, I can. I like
Yeah.
that a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna write that down and yeah, that's good. That's really good. Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, man, a pleasure as always. Appreciate you. And
See you
guys,
next
be on the
week.
lookout for some specials with hyperClean car care products coming out soon, as well as an integration with OrbisX where you'll be able to enjoy
Woo, woo.
some healthy purchasing power and discounts in there, and you'll be able to do it all from one platform, which is going to be awesome. So we were going over the initial prototype. I was showing Marshall over the weekend there. Very excited for this. It's going to be a
Yeah.
nice way for things to tie in for you guys to have a seamless
Mm-hmm.
system that tracks your inventory and lets you know when it's time to order some more hyperclean products. And you can just click through in the app. It'll suggest which products you purchase it, and it'll get shipped right to your door. Absolutely.
Easy
Future's
peasy.
future's gonna be good, man. So think like a
Future's gonna
predator,
be
not
great.
the prey. That's it. All right, man. Appreciate you as always. I'll see you guys next week.
See you
All
next
right.
week.
Cheers.